The Institute of Directors India hosted yet another edition of the London Global Convention 2024. Held across iconic venues of London, including Hotel, the Montcalm Marble Arch, UK Parliament's House of Lords and House of Commons, and the Institute for Healthy Urban Living at the University of Westminster. The theme of this year's convention was Board Strategy for a Secure Future and Turning Disruptions into Opportunities.
Like every other auspicious occasion, we begin the IOD's Global Convention with customary lamp lighting ceremony.
The convention welcomed over 350 delegates across 4 days from industry, government, academia, civil society, prominent Indian diaspora and other diverse stakeholder groups, upholding its rich legacy of drawing a large number of participants from across the globe. The inaugural session commenced with an opening address by Mr. Ashok Kapoor, IAS retired, and a gracious welcome by the Baroness Verma.
It is predicted that by 2025, over 50% of the global economy is expected to be influenced by digital platforms and ecosystems powered by transformative technologies. The current speed at which these changes are occurring underscore the urgent need for businesses to adapt and move with times.
The world is becoming much more connected and much more smaller, so there's no place to hide. If we want ethical, sustainable, a kinder way of doing business, then it starts from the top with our leadership.
The program was further enriched by a series of thought-provoking keynote addresses delivered by eminent leaders and distinguished thinkers that set the ball rolling for the convention.
The future generations will depend on actions we take today. Therefore, we must strategize and measure performance not solely on financial gains, but also the social and environmental impact of our business.
I have to say to all of you, if I can ask you to do one thing following this conference today, it is to go out and promote the cause of free trade and to press your representatives and to press the WE and press the Govt here to come to a conclusion and do a free trade deal again here in the UK. So I'll tell you one thing, it will only make us richer, happier, more secure, closer, more prosperous, and frankly, ultimately give us much, much better and long.
All the boards play an important role, not only to ensure that the shareholders' values are protected, advanced, but also ensure that there are sustainable practices and the risks are averted, averted. For that, I think we all take a lot of oversight mechanisms and responsibilities. And also create to look at the long-term vision for the company and its own group.
About 1.7 million people of Indian heritage live here, and they make a huge contribution to the country, economically, socially, and of course culturally as well. And it's thanks to these unbreakable bonds that we enjoy a thriving trade and investment partnership, which through a future free trade agreement and bilateral investment treaty could create one of the strongest and most prosperous relationships and partnerships in the world, which we're very proud of.
The opening session also marked the release of the convention souvenir by the esteemed dignitaries. Building upon IOD India's illustrious legacy, the convention served as a platform for profound deliberations and insightful exchanges. The discussions spanned across 2 days, focused on critical issues surrounding corporate governance and sustainability, emphasizing the implementation of board strategies to secure the future, while transforming disruptions into opportunities.
When it comes to crises, in my own business, I've nearly lost my business 3 times. 3 things have seen me through my crisis. 1, having strong brand. 2, having good loyal team who support you and satisfy you in the toughest of time. And finally, the 3rd reason we survived our crisis is it is better to fail doing the right thing than to succeed doing the wrong thing. You have to behave with integrity.
Now, the theme of this session Boards in an uncertain world embracing good corporate governance and inclusive growth provoked us many responses. It simulates so many ideas, it raises so many questions, and there is enough within that, just that simple phrase, to exercise the greatest brains in business from now until the 8th century, I think.
The challenges really that we face today from an economic and stability point of view, social unrest, economic degradation and technology disruption require more than traditional governance. They demand a bold, forward-thinking approach to corporate leadership.
Now, when we talk about climate change, Paris Agreement is something which is very well known. The target or the goal of Paris Agreement is to limit greenhouse gas emissions and to limit global warming. Global warming to preferably around 1.5 degrees Celsius by end of the century, which is about 65 years from today. 1.5 degree warm. But where we are today is we have already breached that limit.
Most organizations, they tend to get into bad practices because boards have failed in their responsibility of managing executive behavior. Sometimes CXOs tend to overgrow and their behavioral aspects affects the organization. So it's a board responsibility to tap that person down and say, look, this is how it has to be conducted. You might have done 150% of your targets, you might have done this, you might have done that. Enough. But you stay where you are.
We believe that you're delegating decision outcomes to machines in a way that has risk for boards and governance. And that's going to be our focus. And it's really to do with complex systems which have features where humans really need to sort of keep the handle on the gears.
Try to prepare for all eventualities. We did a huge amount of scenario planning, which forced us to think about the worst outcomes. Cut money going bankrupt. We talked openly about that. And it takes fear away when you talk about the most unpleasant possible outcomes.
I just want to mention that whether it is better access to resources, whether it is improving cost, whether it is training diverse workforce and creative product, whether it is need and desire for organizations to have more profits, all of this can be achieved through machine learning and AI. That is ESG compliant.
That we in the gold industry care deeply about supporting the lives of people and supporting the social impact of the world we live in. Improving people's lives is core to the gold industry and the environment and the governance around all of that.
What we discovered when we went into Borders for Change in institutions is the discovery that if you are able to catch people at a young age, you will be able to change their mindset and bring up a population which is far more responsible than possibly we are. And that led to the creation of this year-long work with Center for Environmental Education to create a booklet for environment education in college.
From innovation perspective, deep polygon is something is the most, I would say, ambitious. A convention method to understanding the green chemistry principle and getting into sustainable sourcing with other two pillars. We have made progress. Last year at this forum, we spoke about our plan. From the land, now we have reached the pilot scale for the Granny CZO initiative. This is basically focused on using a renewable carbon-free energy.
You ask yourself, Eve asks yourself, are we doing track the path, organize it best, and design it? This, I think, is what. If you do not know to which port you will sail, no wind is taken. And we shouldn't be caught in that trap.
It is very hard to describe how much quicker things happen now than they did 20, 25 years ago. I think it's partly a function of technology, partly a function of growth, partly a function of globalization. That things happen a lot quicker. 25 years ago, something might have taken 2 or 3 days. Transactions were done through mail. slow mail, as we call it now, snail mail. Now things happen on email, on video conferences, and things happen just a lot quicker. That creates a governance and managerial challenge.
After detailed deliberations on board dynamics, the delegates were treated to invigorating discussions on building a futuristic board which is diverse, tech-savvy, and understands inclusion.
We've seen transformative aspects of how digital can really revolutionize the way we do work. And again, from the previous set of comments as well, around the boardroom, while we have several levels of defenses, we are sure about one, but I think digital transformation can definitely be your second level of defense.
We board members need to enhance our educational skills. We need to enhance our AIs inside of us. And just to touch on this skills, we need to enhance our PhD skills. Very big area where we would put very fast concentrate on.
Sometimes the changes that take place in national policies, national or state level policies, in terms of handling the public goods that get billed by private parties. So whether it's private equity capital or financing done by debt, which is through savers' money, very often due to perhaps the larger good, you do see policy shifts take place in terms of specially pricing.
We are talking about the rise in the exponential rise in IoT and smart healthcare systems, and of course IoT usage. And this is a typical desk. When you see anybody test, it looks like a war zone to see how many devices we are surrounded by. So what we are surrounded by is what I would call as electrosmog. So you can see dirty air, you can see air smog, you can see all this thing, but you can't see the electrosmog because it's invisible.
The thoughtful discussions were followed by the highly anticipated Golden Peacock Awards ceremony, where the leading voices of the industry came together to recognize the achievements of their peers in the field of corporate governance, ESG, sustainability, and risk management.
I want to congratulate all the winners, and I know how difficult of a process we at IOD put you through.
The level of trade there is between UK and India is hugely important, and it's growing all the time.
And I must say, I agree entirely with what Greg said. I'm sure the people in this room are significantly responsible for the changes which have taken place, the increases which have taken place, and I hope they will continue to be so.
The role of corporate directors become more complex than ever, requiring a diverse skill set, adaptability, and a global mindset. As the business landscape continues to evolve, directors' ability to balance stakeholder interests with strategic foresight will define the effectiveness of corporate governance worldwide.
Today we're here to celebrate the achievements of some of the most well-performing organisations. Let's begin with the Govt Peacock Global Award.
The session also witnessed the felicitation of senior industry leaders. Mr. BVR Mohan Reddy was awarded the Golden Peacock Award for Lifetime Achievement and Leadership in Technological Innovations.
Thank you very much to Board of Directors for conferring this special award. I've heard several variations of this award, but what which attracted me was the Lifetime Achievements Award as the first note came to me. And certainly it's very special and very dear to me.
This was followed by the felicitation of IODGLOBAL Driver Excellence Award for Leadership, which was bestowed upon Mr. Virendra Sharma for leadership in the public sector and Mr. Sadaf Saeed for leadership in the microfinance sector.
I think this is a very prestigious forum placing participating here regularly. IOD Institute of Directors taking the cause of governance and not only setting standards of governance in India but globally. It feels very proud to be given an award recognition at this forum.
Day 2 of the convention continued with case study presentations by award-winning companies showcasing their success stories on sustainability, risk management, corporate governance and ESG.
Fostering transparency and accountability. Boards must be sure that the company's climate strategy and progress toward net zero are both visible, transparent, no stakeholders. Clear communication, reference reporting, and accountability are definitely essential here.
Corporates need to be careful about the problems of human society, problems of disparity, poverty, illiteracy in hand. Then the marketers need to look at, not through only the CSR. CSR is just a sufficient, a kind of bump on that.
The day's proceedings also witnessed a healthy exchange of meaningful dialogue at the House of Commons, followed by the signing of MOU between the Institute of Directors India and the UK Asian Business Council. After 2 days, the setting of the convention shifted to the all-important House of Lords in the UK Parliament on Day 3 for the Global Luncheon Business Meet. This exclusive gathering provided a distinguished platform for senior stakeholders from the India-UK Business Corridor to engage in meaningful discussions on key bilateral economic issues.
Today, the transformation that India has been seeing, the growth is mainly on account of the boost that the government has, given to infrastructure developing that country.
There were stalls of Indian companies such as Parle, Haldirams, and in food and in FMCG industries where there were long queues, and almost every single one of them was so thrilled to see the response they got, how they've been accepted now.
We're an entrepreneurial family, but we need a board. An entrepreneur is a blindly mad person. So we need a board, and we require a board where, like a startup, you take a bet. But a board has to tone you down, look at the option, de-risk yourself, and that is the key issue.
The House of Lords gathering also witnessed the felicitation of IOD Distinguished Fellowship 2024 to Mr. Mohit Burman, Chairman, Dabur India, and felicitation of IOD Global Driving Excellence Award for Leadership, which was bestowed upon Mr. Ramesh Arora for leadership in the hospitality sector.
Thank you to the Institute of Directors for honoring me with the Distinguished Fellow of IOD 2024. Truly humbled and honored to receive this fellowship. It is my testament to the hard work and dedication of my entire team and the extended Dabur family, of which I'm the 5th generation. With that, and I share this moment with all of them.
Our aim is to bring to India first the holistic hospitality to replace the transactional hospitality. That is our aim. And the next aim is to bring Namaste Bharat to England and as well as to India. And that will be 2025.
The venue of the last day of the convention was the Institute of Healthy Urban Living at the University of Westminster, where the delegates and participants congregated on a special session on board strategy on sustainable practices for healthy living and inclusive growth. Professor Brendan Noble accorded a warm welcome to the IOD India delegation. With the final session at the University of Westminster coming to an end, the Institute of Directors India completed yet another successful edition of the London Global Convention, which received widespread appreciation for its value addition, quality of deliberation, and the opportunities it provided to the stakeholders of corporate governance and sustainability.
Here the message is, you change or they will get changed.